Inspiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen review. I've had this new Majohn Moonman P140 clear piston filler with the number 8 size steel nib for several weeks now, but I hadn't inked it up until I got back from my vacation. I was undecided about which ink to use in this pen until I had lunch with a few fellow Calgary Pen Club members. Here we are having lunch with pens. There's my nib guru, Jack Hernandez, then pen friend Janice, next to SBRE Brown making the faces, and the other Stephen, affectionately known as the other Stephen. And then there's the Grand Imperial Poobah himself, Murray, and of course Winnie. Janice brought along her SBRE Brown edition of the Leonardo Momento Zero and a bottle of Ackerman SBRE Brown ink. So I stole some of her SBRE Brown ink to fill this Majohn P140. I must say I like this SBRE Brown ink almost better than Stephen himself. Just kidding. Maybe. Let's take a look at this pen right now. Sometimes packages show up at my door and I have no clue what they are. I'm assuming this is a package from China, but my tracking shows that I have nothing arriving today. That doesn't mean anything these days. Let's open this up and find out what it is. Fascinating. You can tell from the silhouette that it's a pen. And yes, this is the new Majohn Moonman P140 piston filler. I reached out to Sally at Easy Buy and asked whether she would sell one of these to me. It is, as you can see, a clear demonstrator with the cool feature of a number 8 size Majohn, what does that say there? Expedition. Medium nib with that Sun Moon laser etched logo on it. And this looks like a Montblanc 149 sized pen, but a demonstrator. I like that one of those 3 start points for the cap actually lines up with the clip, and the piston looks like it's got metal parts, which is also very interesting because many of these Chinese pens will have plastic parts in their pistons, and we'll have to see whether one of my tools fits. I'll show the parts and features of this pen, show some size comparisons and measurements, and then provide a writing sample. And then I'll talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. Overall, the pen is identical in shape and dimensions to the Wing Sung Junlai 630, which is in turn identical in size and shape to the Montblanc 149. Too bad they aren't copying the Sailor King of Pens, because then it would be son of a sailor. Sorry. The Majohn is a bit heavier than the Wing Sung by about 5 grams. If you like demonstrators, this is a very attractive pen. Moonman has always been excellent at creating flawlessly clear acrylic. I've been very impressed with their acrylic since my very first Moonman pen, the Moonman M1. About 5 years ago now. Cool little eyedropper pen. So let's take a look at the details of this pen. From the top, we see the incredibly crystal clear acrylic resin that Moonman has become known for. It's flawless, like a magnifying glass, and it is like that throughout this very well designed, engineered, and manufactured pen. If your pen is opaque, the manufacturer can hide all kinds of imperfections and blemishes, but when it's crystal clear like this P140, every bit of sloppy glue will be magnified, so they have to be extra careful when they assemble these pens. I've been all over this pen with my loupe, and I can't find a sloppy join or flaw in the acrylic or where the acrylic and hardware fit together. If you hear anyone say that Chinese fountain pens are crap, this is your proof that they have their heads up their own sections. Don't get me wrong, Moonman is capable of building some crappy pens, but this isn't one of them. The top finial is separated from the cap by the gold-plated clip ring. The clip is slightly Montblanc shaped, but slimmer, and very springy and usable. The cap tapers up to 2 cap bands, one slim and one wide, and the wide one has this lovely wave pattern stamped into it, and that cap band curves down with a small step down to the barrel, which tapers all the way down to another gold-plated ring that separates the barrel from the piston knob. which is another thick piece of acrylic. If you look through the magnifying glass of the piston knob, you can see the excellence of the engineering and manufacturing of the end of the piston rod attachment to the piston knob itself. Beautifully done. And through the clear barrel, you not only see your ink, but you see the piston mechanism, which is gold-plated brass. Sometimes demonstrators are ugly pens because they show off the ugly guts of a fountain pen. But attention has been paid here to make the entire pen attractive inside and out. The cap unscrews with one and almost two turns to reveal the very thick acrylic section and the number 8 size Majohn gold-plated steel medium nib and black ebonite feed. This is the same nib and ebonite feed unit you find in the Majohn P139 Hemingway, and you can see the review of that pen by clicking right up there. The section is identical in size and shape to the Montblanc 149, and I love how it feels in my hand. Let's take a closer look at this nib. It is identical to the P139 nib with the Moonman Sun Moon graphic surrounding the breather hole, and Majohn Expedition and a script M for medium, all laser etched into the surface. I'm not sure if the Expedition is of the sun or the moon, but it reminds me of an impression I used to do when I was a kid. So here's my impression of the first man on the sun. Ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ow. Thank you, folks. I'll be here all week. And of course, the ebonite feed. Ebonite, for those that don't know, is a brand name for black hard rubber and has been used in pen manufacturing for over 100 years. Modern pens will use ebonite for the feeds because, unlike plastic, which is hydrophobic or repels water, ebonite is hydrophilic, which absorbs water. So ebonite feeds supply the nib with a greater and more consistent ink flow than plastic, and the nib and feed are part of a nib assembly that unscrews for maintenance or swapping. The section does not unscrew, and the cap has a step milled into the acrylic that meets up with the top of the section, as you can see through the clear cap. And the cap posts deeply and securely and doesn't offset the balance that much because the cap only weighs about 11 grams. But it does make it a bit long for me posted, like the Montblanc 149 for me, but unposted the pen is beautifully comfortable and balanced. I bought this pen from Sally at the Etsy Easy Buy store, where it sells for around $50, and you can get it on Amazon as well for around $60 US. And the P140 is available in either fine or medium nibs. Now let's look at some size comparisons. And here is the Majohn P140 piston filler with a Wingsung 630 piston filler, a Jinhao 9019 cartridge converter, an Asvine C80 cartridge converter, and a Leonardo Ferrari Grande piston filler. Let's look at them posted. And here they are posted. They're all very long when they're posted, and they all post well. These are all number 8 size nibs except for the Leonardo Ferrari, which is a number 6 size steel. The Jinhao has a customized stack nib on it that was done by Sally Soros for me. And the Wingsung 630 is a 14 karat gold number 8 nib, which is just spectacular. This is the closest thing I'll ever have to a Montblanc 149. And really the only difference is that the Montblanc 149 is made of precious resin and this is made of semi-precious resin. Now let's look at them unposted. And there they are, unposted. This is how I write with all of these pens. And the Jinhao 9019 is so fat it barely fits in my pen tray. Now let's look at some measurements and I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Majohn P140, and it has a number 8 size steel nib, which is a medium. Let's check the wetness. Well, this is very, very wet, very juicy, and it is really, really smooth. Right out of the box, folks. No working on this nib whatsoever. And the ink, as I told you in the beginning, is from Ackerman, and it is the Ackerman SBRE Brown signature ink of Stephen Brown. It's a really lovely brown shading ink. This is the first time that I've used Stephen's namesake brown, and I must say I like it. It shades beautifully from very, very pale to a deep, rich, reddish brown. As to line variation, you can push a little bit of variation out of this nib. And the line this nib makes is 0.6 millimeters, which is bang on a Western medium. And for our quote. And for some reverse writing, yeah, it's not really doing it very well, and it's scratchy and drying up. So for you sketchers out there, at least this one won't work. And for some quick writing, yeah, it's keeping up pretty well. This is a very wet pen, laying down a lot of ink, and that feed is keeping up nicely. I skipped it a couple of times on the page myself. So what do I like and what do I not like about this fountain pen? I was worried I wouldn't like this pen because of the nib. I've disliked so many Moonman nibs over the years, I've come to expect a mediocre or bad experience. The number 6 size steel Moonman nibs almost invariably get swapped out for a Kaigaloo long blade nib for me. This number 8 Majohn nib was in the P139, but I didn't much like that pen and I sold it. So I was surprised when this nib grew on me. It's smooth, wet, and consistent. And that's probably the result of the ebonite feed. Mostly I love this pen because of its size and comfort in my hand, and how well it is engineered and manufactured. I think Majohn Moonman has knocked it out of the park with this Montblanc 149 clone, and it rivals my favorite Montblanc 149 clone, my Wingsung 630. The Wingsung is still the better pen in my estimation because it has, at least this one has, an incredible number 8 size 14 karat gold fine nib that writes like a fire hose and is nicely soft. Not flexible, but soft. So I don't feel the need for a Montblanc 149 unless one shows up for under 300 bucks. And that's not going to happen anytime soon. And if I had 300 bucks, I'd probably buy another Leonardo anyway. And there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And you can join as a member of my channel for only 99 cents a month, and I guarantee I'll answer your comments in the comment section, and you'll get cool emojis, badges, sneak peek unboxing videos, as well as instant access to my videos the moment I post them. And that just leaves it for me to say, thank you for watching, and that's all she wrote.
I made this.